Hello. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak at this interesting conference. I hope you find my talk useful, and I'm very happy to answer any questions at the end of it. My name is Paula Procter. I'm Emeritus Professor of Nursing Informatics at Sheffield Hallam University. I'm going to share my screen and go through this talk, and I hope, as I say, that you find it of interest. I've titled this talk, Using Data Analytics to Better Understand the Community Health Need. And because I'm a background as a nurse, I've taken a nursing perspective for this. And in essence, what we will explore is the ways in which digital developments can help health and social care providers better understand the community served and highlight the role nurses can and will play in an ever-increasing digital society to support compassionate patient care in a complex and challenging environment. I'd like to start with a short piece from T.S. Eliot's The Rock, where he says, "Where is the life we have lost in living? Where is the wisdom we have lost in knowledge? And where is the knowledge we have lost in information?" And I hope that during this talk, the points made in this brief 3 lines will make you sit up and think and maybe have some challenges to you. I come from Yorkshire, so I thought I'd share with you some images from Yorkshire. And this is a viaduct, a train runs over this viaduct regularly. But the reason for showing this is to sort of think about how everybody today with access to information through their phone can be an expert in their own health issues. And how do we help people who have heard about things through the television, through their friends, through social media, through the news and through conversations? How do we help them fathom the correct information? Here we have a little village, the very steep hill, and this question asks us, what is information in the context of today's session? And I think we fool ourselves if we think that health and social care information is confined to fixed electronic health records. Let's not be constrained in our thinking. Let's think a lot wider than this narrow street suggests. And here we have an abbey that was built in 1133, so many or 32, many years ago. And I show this because I want us to think about widening our information horizon and accept that individuals accessing healthcare do so, in the most cases, as a very small part of their life. And for us, it is a very large part of our lives, but we need to understand where the patients and the population is coming from. And here we have the Bronte parsonage, where the Bronte sisters did their writing. And so I'm using this to suggest that we need to learn about our community and their social determinants, who they are, so that we can turn around illness services into true health services. And this is a lovely view of Yorkshire. Because having such lofty ambitions of turning things from an illness centre to a health centre, it has many serious organisational, professional and indeed economic implications. And we as nurses need to recognise those. And here is my home city, Sheffield. And I'm saying this because Sheffield has regenerated following the decline of heavy industry. And it's now a great success because it's moved around using data tools. It's developed a fourth industrial revolution and moved towards society 5.0. And it understands the community it serves. And so it's leading to collaborative ventures in digital health and social care. I believe there are 4 Ds, and those are digitization within society has brought about distribution across time and communities, which in turn has caused disruption to the normal systems and structures. And this has resulted in diversity of actions. And I'm just going to go through a couple of these. I'm going to use disruption and later diversity. So what's disrupted? Well, we now have 24/7 access to information. As an educator, I do sometimes wonder why we ask people to remember things when they can just Google it. We have a series of items that are likes, and people get very upset and stressed and anxious if they don't receive sufficient likes. We know about information harvesting. Indeed, your shopping activity through the internet is probably a better indicator of you than anything else you have. We know we've changed the way we shop, we've changed the way we bank, we've changed the way we communicate, and we've changed the way we watch television, for an example. So why have we not changed healthcare? Why do we believe it's still based in the traditional silos that have continued for many years? We know that they're developing the Internet of Things, smart technologies. We know about self-parking cars. We know about nanotechnologies, personalized medicine, DNA prescribing, 3D printing, and surgical robots. And even today, there is a nurse robot on sale. And here is the nurse robot. It basically does vital signs and carries water. Now, that's somebody's view of what nurses do. As a nurse, I don't believe that's all that we do. And maybe we need to step up and tell people more about what we do, who we are, and how we can be supported by technology to deliver compassionate care. We know the smart technologies that are around us now in everyday life. We cannot move without having something transmitted of information about where we are, about what we're doing, who we're talking to, how we're driving our car, how our house is working. It's everywhere, and it will increase considerably, and it will disrupt everything that we do. We know about virtual assistants and how the growth of those in helping people use their lifetime better, and also to help instruct in telling people of maybe who have more forgetful times, like me at the moment, to take their medications. And where is health and social care in how we use virtual assistants? How do we use robotics in care? And I don't know whether you use any yourselves, but some are better than others, and it is still early days. But some can be helpful, like the picture with the lady with the seal on the bottom left. Here we have something that's a robot, but it blinks its eyes, it makes lovely noises, and it does tend to calm people down who get very anxious, who get very stressed, particularly those suffering with some form of dementia. It does seem to calm them down, to stroke something that's not going to bite them, that's not going to run off or anything else. It is a robot that's designed to sit there and be very pleasant. We know about radio frequency identification devices. Where are those in our nursing remit? In the middle of the picture there, you can see somebody's neck with a little smear on it. And that smear is actually a tag that's sending signals to a device that's measuring somebody's heart rate, blood pressure constantly. So at night time, if somebody's in hospital or if they're at home using a virtual ward or virtual monitoring, then you don't need to wake them up to see how their blood pressure is doing. Many other examples, and you can look at some of these in your own time elsewhere. Nanotechnologies are developing. These are very, very, very small things, and they are going to grow in the development. Where are we as nurses in trying to help some of these developments? Because if we can think of nanotechnologies as a solution to some of the issues that people have in their own homes, then maybe we can find help for them that means they don't have to attend hospitals. Genomics, we don't know, again, huge investments going on in this at the moment, with the idea of DNA mapping, so that we don't have to have people coming into hospitals, or we can predict who might be coming into hospitals for certain treatments. Genomics is a new science, and I think over the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to see a massive explosion in that. But again, where is the nursing in this area? Where are we advising how to help patients in a compassionate way if they have information that their DNA means there may be trouble ahead? So it's caused the disruption, but that disruption is actually a positive in many cases, and it resulted in a diversity of actions. We know that the world has changed due to the COVID pandemic, but technology is going to change it even further. And this is where we need to be at the forefront of many of these developments. One of the things that's talked about a lot, particularly when we look at collecting data, and we collect it, as I've suggested, through these smart technologies, through day-to-day living, is if we collect big data, and this is massive amounts of data that are collected passively from digital interactions that are many different types and much information. But the key here is that it is collected passively from digital interactions, from using your phone, from using your computer, from using your tablet, from having conversations through WhatsApp or whatever. So we're collecting all this data all the time. And that requires of us to look at a thing called artificial intelligence, to analyze that data. And again, where are we as nurses helping to analyze this data? There's 3 types of artificial intelligence. I don't want you to go away and think, oh dear, you know, we're going to be taken over by something that's more intelligent than us. No, we're nowhere near that. We're way down the list at the level of artificial narrow intelligence, which is basically algorithms. And so we're in total control at the moment. Whether we deal with the answers appropriately or not is really up to us, but it is algorithmic in the way that we do things. And algorithms can be good and algorithms can be bad. But don't panic, we're not going to suddenly have intelligence beyond us. We're gaining all this information from items such as wearables, and I'm sure you can probably add to this list. This information is being collected all the time. What do we do with it? Are we involved in it? How can we use this to help us with an obesity issue or a diabetes issue or something else? We've got the Internet of Things. Cars are giving off signals all the time of all sorts. So my car apparently has got about 3 or 4 computer systems in it or more. And it does things that I don't really know that I'm not in control totally anymore. My washing machine, because I've just moved house, but my washing machine now, you can do it through Wi-Fi. I mean, yeah, sure, anyway, but that's collecting data. What are we doing looking at our communities and seeing what data is being collected? We know there's a lot of use of robotics. We know they've got robotic surgery now where you don't need anybody present other than the robot to do the procedure, particularly keyhole surgery. And on the bottom right, there's a young man here who can't go to school because he's heavily immunosuppressed, but his robot goes to school for him, and his friends wave to his robot and interact with him, even though it's in a virtual way. There's a new thing developing now, which is called robot avatars, which is where people who are so severely disabled can become a member of the workforce. And they find that so much more rewarding rather than just thinking their life is wasting away. So where are we as nurses getting involved in these sorts of areas of excitement and movement of people towards a better outcome? So maybe rather than looking at the things we looked at before as disruptions, it's to look at them as opportunities. So this list is an opportunity. I can shop now at any time I want to get anything I want. Is that good? How does that make me feel? What health implications has that got? My access to 24/7 access to information. What health implications has that got? And should I be able to do that? And should we as nurses be guiding people to good sites where we think the information is correct? Do we want people to be able to have personalized medicine, DNA prescribing? We know certainly that many people with mental health issues, and particularly depression, we try all sorts of drugs to see which is best, and it can take up to 2 years to get the right medication to the right person. But with personalized medicine, DNA prescribing, we can do it first time because we know exactly what they will react to. Where we're trying to move to, we're going from the past to the future. And so we're trying to go from sick care to healthcare, and we can do that by amassing and understanding the information that our communities are delivering. And instead of doing little episodes where they have a sudden need for healthcare, or it's a long-term issue, we should look at continuous healthcare, a healthcare loop that lasts from birth to death. And we can do that with information. Maybe we don't need that many physical environments in which to treat people. Maybe we can do more in a virtual world, not immediately. It's going to take a few years for this to settle in. But nowadays, people understand the ability to speak on the phone and to see somebody on the phone. And maybe we need to take that just a little bit further. We need to understand that no longer does one size fit all. We need to personalize our care. And we can only do that by retrieving and analyzing information. We need to change from a straight provider of care to realize there's all sorts of people who can offer care out there. But how are we regulating that? How are we thinking about these crowds of people who might turn up? And rather than just deal with humans and our history and what we know, can we tie in artificial intelligence and make healthcare enhanced by it rather than fearful of it? And rather than a fee for service, because we know healthcare is a huge cost to any nation and any community, maybe we should look better at a fee for outcome. So what do we achieve in the delivery of our care? And do we achieve that for the benefit of our community? Or have we some other benefit in mind that we want to try? So going back to the T.S. Eliot quote, I'd like to just say, here is the life we have found in living. Here is the wisdom we have found in knowledge. And with your help and nursing at the forefront, here is the knowledge we have found in information. So that's my talk. Very happy to answer any questions, but thank you very much. And I look forward to talking with you again at some point. Thank you.